Invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
I was wild. I was different. I was from a whole nother time.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, my God.
I know, but I wear T-shirts. I don't know what that means. Anyway, all right, let's. You hold that.
Okay.
All right.
Well, this leads me to the perfect thing, because I would like you to clear something up. There's
Yes.
a lot of talk going on with Chris Brown being at your place in Miami, and you arranging Chris and Rihanna getting back together. Now, you want to talk about that?
See, I wouldn't really Twitter about that.
Okay, let's not Twitter about it. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk about it,
Yeah,
because
sure.
I think you clearly have a lot of people going, why would you do that? Why would you give Chris, a guy who hit a girl, and he's jet skiing around in your, I don't understand, because, I mean, listen, I was a huge fan of Chris's. I love Chris, his music, he's a talented guy, but to hit a girl.
Yeah, because I know both of them, and it's my house.
Joe Rogan just dropped a bomb that nobody saw coming, and it's got Hollywood shaking again. Suddenly, Ellen DeGeneres is back in the mix, and not for the reasons she'd hoped for. As the Diddy chaos keeps spilling out, people are digging up old clips, uncomfortable moments, and interviews that now look way different under this new light.
What time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really, that early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
I had the dates wrong all this time. Diddy, come on out. He's... I heard you're scared of clowns.
No,
I heard that.
impossible.
Why is it impossible?
Because I'm a black man. I'm not afraid of clowns.
But I heard that you were.
I called her out. I was like, Ellen's not that nice.
This was after you went on the show?
After I went on the show.
What was it like meeting Ellen? And is she a good person?
Let's just all go back to 2017, where I was the first person to call Ellen out before anyone else
You called
did.
her out?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I called her out. I was like, Ellen's not that nice.
So why is Ellen's name popping up all over again? And why does her silence feel so off right now? Once Joe Rogan started connecting those dots, everything started looking a lot more suspicious. It's like he opened the door that everyone else was scared to even knock on. Joe didn't just mention her name, he cracked open a whole topic that people have been whispering about for years. The way the Diddy story is spreading online, it's pulling other big names into the spotlight too, and Ellen's one of them. The timelines are flooded with Diddy updates, but the real buzz is about who's not talking. Ellen's quiet, too quiet.
Headline. Here's the problem. I'm a comedian who got a talk show, and I ended the show every day by saying, be kind to one another. Had I ended my show by saying, go yourselves, people would have been pleasantly surprised. I didn't go into this business for money. It was about healing my childhood wounds. I thought, if I could make people happy, then they'll like me. And if they like me, I'll feel good about myself. And all I can say about that is thank you.
And now, people can't stop asking the question, why do the same names keep showing up, but no one ever calls them out? It's like everyone sees it, but acts like they don't. Once Diddy got slammed with serious federal charges, the internet went into full detective mode. People started digging through every old clip, interview, and talk show moment they could find, and suddenly, all that harmless fun from years ago didn't seem so harmless anymore. That's exactly when Ellen's name started creeping back into the conversation. Fans began rewatching those old clips of Diddy on The Ellen Show. The laughing, the inside jokes, the easy talk about parties, and the comfortable energy that once seemed like nothing. Back then, it all came off as light and playful. But now, people are watching those same clips with raised eyebrows. And that's what caught Joe Rogan's attention. He called out how strange it is that Ellen isn't being questioned the same way others are, especially since Diddy was on her show multiple times. Those relaxed chats about parties on national TV now look very different to a lot of people. Rogan wasn't making wild accusations, but he was pointing out something that plenty of viewers already felt. The silence feels too loud. This isn't about proof, it's about perception. When jokes, awkward silences, and timing collide during a massive controversy, people can't help but start asking tough questions. Is it just bad timing, or is it one of those subjects everyone's too scared to bring up? And the quieter Ellen stays, the more people start paying attention. Then things got even stranger. When Ellen's talk show ended after that massive toxic workplace scandal, it didn't just fade away like another celebrity headline. It completely changed how fans saw her. Not long after, she and Portia packed up and moved to the UK, with Ellen saying it was about the political climate, but online, people weren't buying it. Many saw it as something deeper, something she didn't want to explain. The timing of everything felt way too perfect, like a message, not a coincidence. Whether fair or not, that's exactly how people took it.
I called her out. I was like, Ellen's not that nice.
This was after you went on the show?
After I went on the show.
What was it like meeting Ellen? And is she a good person?
Let's just all go back to 2017, where I was the first person to call Ellen out before anyone else
You called
did.
her out?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I called her out. I was like, Ellen's not that nice.
This was after you went on the show?
After I went on the show, and the world blew up about it and was like so mad at me about it. And then someone else said it, and then it was like, oh my God, Ellen's not nice. Oh, okay.
Why do you say she's not nice?
I can't explain it. It was
Just
just
an
really
energy?
weird. I ran into her like backstage. It was like an awkward thing, and like the producers were really scared. I was like, what's going on? They were like, that was not supposed to happen. We're gonna get in trouble. It's like so weird. She was like, hey. It was like, I was like, oh hi. Like I was like, I'm so excited. And she was like,
Once the internet smells something suspicious, it's over. Maybe stops being an answer, and everyone starts looking for patterns. That's why Ellen's past just won't stay buried. When BuzzFeed News dropped that bombshell report about the Ellen DeGeneres show, it blew up her whole Be Kind image overnight. The stories from former staff were shocking. People talked about fear running the place, power being misused, and pressure so heavy that it broke people down. Allegations ranged from intimidation to racism.
Summer, there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show. And then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened.
She apologized and promised to do better.
The truth is, I am that person that you see on TV. I am also a lot of other things. Sometimes I get sad, I get mad, I get anxious, I get frustrated, I get impatient, and I am working on all of that. I am a work in progress. And if I've ever let someone down, if I've ever hurt their feelings, I am so sorry for that.
2003.
Phony, liar, hypocrite. That's my reaction. She's known about this for 17 years. She's created this culture. I was there from day one. We were all petrified of her. She was not nice.
To straight up toxic management, and fans couldn't believe it was happening behind the scenes of a show built on kindness. But what really hit people wasn't just the accusations, it was how completely opposite those stories sounded from the bubbly, feel-good persona Ellen showed on camera. The internet lit up with outrage, and the backlash came fast. Executive producers were removed, and Ellen herself had to face the fire. She went public, admitting that things happened on her show that never should have. She said she took responsibility for the people who were hurt, but for a lot of fans, that apology didn't fix the damage. Even after Ellen's apology,
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. Diddy party stories, man. That was like some weird memory lane. What?
the show didn't last long before it wrapped up for good. Later, she said she ended it because it wasn't challenging anymore, but fans didn't buy that for a second. To them, the trust had already been shattered, and no amount of smiling on camera could patch it up. That's exactly why Joe Rogan brought her up again while talking about Diddy on his podcast. It wasn't random, it was connected. Rogan pointed out something that hit a nerve. How wild it is that for years, celebrities openly joked about Diddy's parties like they were some exclusive badge of honor. He dropped names like Ashton Kutcher.
There's
She's not here.
No, but you was going to give it to her as a gift.
All right, then I'll say it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. That's sweet. Well, what about for me? Oh, look at that. That's so sweet. Thank you. How come it's for Portia and not me?
Because you're going to have her wear it. And,
All right.
we go so far back. You don't tell these people how far back we go.
I know, but I wear t-shirts. I don't know what that means. Anyway, all right. Let's. You hold that.
Okay.
All right.
I can just take two of the joke didn't work.
No, it's okay.
I don't want no problem.
No, it's okay.
Hey, so cheers.
And others who talked about those nights like they were fun, not questionable. And the more he talked, the more people started realizing these weren't hidden rumors. They were conversations happening right in front of us. Rogan also made a sharp observation. Most of that party talk went down on Ellen's own stage. He wasn't accusing her or anyone else of knowing details.
Maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
And then it will carry on there.
Yeah. Then no, I mean the after party.
No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music. I've heard that song, After Party. But that was at the Holiday Inn, I think.
But he questioned how so many big stars could hang around those scenes, laugh about them on national TV, and later act like they saw absolutely nothing. Now, with today's allegations against Diddy painting a whole different picture, those old laughs don't sound the same. What's really wild is that none of this was subtle. It was all said out loud, broadcast to millions.
so good.
I just want to say,
And now every clip is being rewatched with new meaning. The internet isn't letting these moments slide anymore. There's one clip from Ellen and Diddy's 2018 interview that's got everyone talking again. And once you catch it, you can't unsee it. During that chat, Diddy casually drops that he always invites Ellen to his parties, but she never shows up. Sounds harmless at first, right? But then he adds that his parties start early.
They just, you know, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little...
And the real action doesn't even begin until after midnight on the top floors. That's when people started raising their eyebrows. What really grabbed attention wasn't Diddy's words, it was Ellen's reaction. She didn't look lost, she didn't laugh awkwardly. She looked like she already knew exactly what he was hitting at. And when the talk slid into after-party territory, her calm reaction hit differently, almost like there was more to that smile than people realized.
That tiny moment is what viewers keep rewinding, and it's easy to see why. It suddenly doesn't feel like just another celebrity chat. It feels loaded. Joe Rogan even mentioned how strange the silence around Ellen has been, especially considering that Diddy wasn't just a one-time guest. He came on her show multiple times, and the party jokes became a running theme, light, playful, and perfect for daytime TV back then.
Spider. No, we're not. I don't care to get over my fear. If I just hold it, no. If I just no.
We actually have a real problem looking at it.
Why?
So let me know when it's gone.
This sounds like don't play with my phone.
How was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth. You were invited.
Talk about your kind of ribbon. I didn't go to prison.
But I don't want to. I don't want to. I can't. Okay.
But now, with those old clips resurfacing, the whole vibe has flipped. What once made people laugh is now making them look twice. One clip that just won't die down is from a 2002 Conan O'Brien interview, where Diddy joked about needing locks on the doors at his parties. Back then, it came off as classic shock humor, just another celebrity trying to get a laugh on late-night TV.
I was wild. I was different. I was from a whole nother time.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
They're cheerleaders, right?
No, I really thought that they don't start dating till like 17, right? When do they start dating? Oh my God.
But now, when people replay it, that same joke feels a whole lot darker, more like a red flag than a punchline. As those old clips started spreading again, the conversation completely shifted. People stopped asking if the jokes were funny and started asking, what did Ellen really know, if anything, and why has she stayed completely silent? That question keeps echoing online, and every time her name trends, it pulls the story back into the spotlight. Then the internet found another piece to the puzzle, a 2016 tweet where Ellen jokingly gave Diddy a nickname tied to cuddling. At the time, nobody thought twice about it, but now people are reading it with new eyes, trying to piece together what she meant. And to make things even spicier, there are clips floating around where reporters approach Ellen with questions and she shuts down fast. Some say her body language looks nervous, others claim anyone would act the same if they were caught off guard. Either way, those little moments have kept the buzz alive. Every old interview, tweet, and awkward silence just keeps adding more heat to the discussion, especially as fans link the past to the chaos unfolding right now. Joe Rogan kept his point real simple but powerful. He said if you were close enough to Diddy to invite him on your show over and over, crack jokes about wild party culture on national TV, and react like you knew exactly what that talk was about, then yeah, people are gonna expect you to speak up when that same topic suddenly turns dark. It's not about blame, it's about accountability and perception. Rogan made it clear, this isn't about proving who knew what, it's about accountability and perception. He said when those old party clips and photos started flooding the internet, they looked disturbing, especially knowing how much influence Diddy had back then, and how exclusive those parties really were. He painted a picture of a world where fame and power protected everything behind closed doors, and people just went along with it. Rogan also reminded listeners how much money was thrown into those events, how stars bragged about being there, and how all of that glamorized image feels completely different now with the new allegations coming out. That's why this hits harder, because it shows how deeply that lifestyle was normalized in Hollywood for years, and now seeing Ellen and other big names staying quiet doesn't sit right with people. Rogan didn't call her guilty, he just said it looks strange from the outside, especially given Ellen's own messy past with her workplace drama. The whole thing feels way too connected to ignore.
Want to talk about that?
See, I wouldn't use my Twitter to talk about that because that's somebody else's business.
I know, but you gave them your house.
Yeah. But we're talking about Twitter.
Yeah.
This is how you use Twitter, and that's something else. I'm just saying I wouldn't really Twitter about that.
Okay, let's not Twitter about it. Let's talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Let's talk about it because I think you clearly have a lot of people going, why would you do that? Why would you give Chris, a guy who hit a girl and he's jet skiing around in your, I don't understand. Because, I mean, listen, I was a huge fan of Chris's. I love his music. He's a talented guy, but to hit a girl.
Yeah, because I know both of them and it's my house. And I'm allowed to give my house to whoever I want to give my house to. That's number one. Number two is that I'm the type of person that I don't cast a stone or cast a judgment on anybody. And so if a friend or friends ask me for a favor, then I'm gonna be there for a favor as long as I know that the energy of the favor is positive for two people to sit down and talk about.
The scandal around Ellen's show revealed more than just bad management. It exposed a whole atmosphere of fear. Former staffers said the workplace felt like a place where people were scared to speak up, and now a lot of commentators are comparing that same dynamic to how celebrity circles operate, where power, silence, and influence keep everything locked down.
Situation that they're in. I'm not going to get involved in it. I'm not going to pass judgment on it. If I could be there as a friend during hard times, then I'm going to be there as a friend. But I don't know the exact particulars. I didn't get into it. I'm not going to do this or do that. It's a dark time for them, and I was there more as a supporter. support. That was it.
I think you were coming from a place of a friendship and of kindness and support. And it's just, it's hard for me, and I don't believe in judgment either, but I don't want any girl out there thinking it's okay to go back to a guy who hit her.
None of this proves anything criminal about Ellen, but it does explain why so many people keep trying to connect the dots. Stories from that era just keep popping up. Some talk about tension on set,
work environment that is threatening Ellen's reputation as the Queen of Nice. While I am grateful for the opportunity it afforded me, I did experience and feel the toxicity of the environment, he writes on Instagram. I stand with my former colleagues in their quest to create a healthier and more inclusive workplace as the show moves forward.
Others claim certain guests were quietly kept off the show, and even when details can't be fully verified, the pattern people see stays the same. Once the public starts noticing repeated signs of control, pressure, and silence, those old interviews stop being throwbacks and start feeling like clues. That's what keeps this conversation alive. It refuses to fade away because the pieces keep lining up.
It didn't have to go down this way. She could have been brilliantly talented in front of the camera and carried that backstage, and she didn't. Every Friday we were shaking, who's going to get fired this Friday?
And here's where the irony hits hard. Back in 2009, when Chris Brown was accused of hurting Rihanna, Ellen used her platform to take a firm moral stance on national TV. During that episode, she had Diddy sitting right there and didn't hold back. She asked him point blank, why was Chris Brown even staying at his house? Ellen said she didn't want young women watching to think it was okay to go back to someone who had hurt them. It was one of those moments that made her look strong and principled. But now, years later, people are looking back at that same clip through a completely different lens. The contrast between what she said back then and her silence now is what has everyone talking. At the time, that moment came across as Ellen taking a bold stance against domestic violence. She looked firm, compassionate, and completely in control of the message. Diddy pushed back a little, explaining that it was his house, that he didn't judge people, and that if a friend needed help, he'd be there, no questions asked. The whole exchange stuck with people because of how serious and moral the tone was. It felt like a rare, real moment on daytime TV. But fast forward a few years, and the story flipped. When the allegations about Ellen's own workplace started pouring out, former staffers painted a totally different picture, talking about a culture that was toxic, cold, and emotionally draining. Suddenly, that once perfect moral stance didn't line up with what people were hearing behind the scenes. That's exactly where the hypocrisy argument comes in, not because it proves any crime, but because the contrast is just too sharp to ignore.
All right, well, let me catch up on what's been going on with me since you saw me last. I decided to take up gardening. I got chickens. Let me see what else I can tell you about that's been going on. Oh yeah, I got kicked out of show business. Yeah. That's the headline. Here's the problem. I'm a comedian who got a talk show, and I ended the show every day by saying, be kind to one another. Had I ended my show by saying, go f yourselves, people would have been pleasantly surprised.
One minute she's speaking out about protecting women and doing what's right, and the next she's being accused of running a set filled with fear and pressure. For so many fans, that contradiction hit hard. It made them question everything they thought they knew about her. And that's when people started seeing Ellen not as the sweet talk show host, but as someone whose image might have been built on a very different truth.
Then came another twist. Ellen and Portia suddenly sold their Montecito mansion and packed up for a quiet life in rural England. Ellen publicly said the move was about the political climate, but fans online weren't buying it. The timing felt way too suspicious. Right as Diddy's legal mess was making headlines and everyone was watching which celebrities would speak out or stay quiet, Ellen vanished from the Hollywood scene completely. Her silence during that moment just added more fuel to the fire. The internet didn't just watch, they filled in the blanks themselves. Soon, wild rumors started flying, including one false claim saying Ellen had an arrest warrant linked to her former DJ, Steven Twitch Boss, and that tapes were played in court. Fact-checkers jumped on it fast and shut it down, but the damage was already done. The way that story spread like wildfire showed just how quickly people are ready to believe anything once the trust is gone. Nobody stopped to ask if it was true, they only asked, does it fit the story we already believe? And because Ellen's reputation had already taken so many hits, her name became the easiest target for any shocking claim that hinted at dark Hollywood secrets. That's what makes these moments so dangerous.
Rumors travel faster than facts, but the distrust behind them sticks around for years. Even in her Netflix special, For Your Approval, Ellen tried to joke about it all. She laughed about being pushed out of show business and even admitted that the "be kind" girl wasn't kind. That line hit hard because it wasn't just a headline anymore, it became part of her whole identity. What used to be her brand is now her biggest shadow, and every time another scandal hits Hollywood, her name somehow finds its way back into the mix.
The Ellen Show was accused of being a toxic workplace, with several staff members being accused of misconduct.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is.
After an investigation and numerous firings, Ellen finally delivered a public apology on her show.
I am so sorry for that.
For some viewers, Ellen's Netflix moment felt like a rare flash of self-awareness, but for others, it sounded like more proof that the gap between her public image and how people actually see her still hasn't closed. What really grabbed everyone's attention wasn't even the joke itself, it was her tone. When Ellen talked about fame, ego, and how hate always feels louder than love, a lot of listeners didn't hear accountability, they heard someone still struggling with the fallout instead of owning it. To many, it came across less like reflection and more like deflection, like she was explaining the pain of being disliked rather than addressing why people were upset in the first place. That disconnect made her words hit differently. It didn't sound like closure, it sounded like confusion wrapped in comedy. Then the internet did what it always does. It took things to an even stranger level. A clip went viral after NFL star Aaron Rodgers appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast and tried to draw a wild comparison between Ellen's old talk show set and Epstein Island, pointing out what he called similar architecture. The comment exploded online, with people debating whether it was just another conspiracy stretch or a sign that the public's mistrust of celebrity spaces has gone too far. Either way, it pushed Ellen's name right back into the headlines, and this time, the noise was louder than ever. After that wild Aaron Rodgers moment blew up online, the story refused to slow down. Suddenly, everyone was dissecting every clip, every quote, every tiny detail from Ellen's past like it was evidence in a mystery. Threads on social media got flooded with side-by-side photos, timestamps, and hidden meanings people swore they could see. The obsession wasn't just about Ellen anymore, it had turned into a full-on Hollywood decoding mission. Commentators started pointing out how this pattern keeps repeating. Once a celebrity's image cracks, everything they've ever said or done gets reinterpreted. Old kindness now looks suspicious, old laughter sounds uncomfortable, and even casual jokes start feeling like confessions. That's the price of fame in today's internet world. Once people decide there's more to the story, they won't stop digging until they find something that fits their theory. Ellen's silence, once seen as maturity or grace, now feels like strategy to many. People want answers, but all they get are jokes and vague reflections. And that's what keeps the noise alive, the lack of clarity. Every time a new headline drops about Diddy or another star gets pulled into controversy, Ellen's name sneaks back into the conversation like a ghost that won't fade away. At this point, the discussion isn't even about guilt, it's about how fast public trust can flip. The internet's not just watching, it's rewriting reputations in real time. And whether Ellen speaks up or keeps quiet, the crowd's already decided. Her story isn't finished yet. Something about her silence still feels heavy, like there's one last piece the world hasn't heard. Now, the conversation around Ellen has turned into something bigger than just one celebrity scandal. It's about the entire Hollywood machine. People online are asking if the industry itself runs on silence, where everyone knows something but nobody dares to say it out loud. And Ellen, once known for calling others out, has somehow become the symbol of that quiet tension. Podcasts, TikToks, and Bassett pages are all spinning their theories, connecting Ellen to other major players who face their own controversies. Every time a new clip resurfaces, it reignites the debate. Was she really unaware or just playing the game that keeps the cameras rolling and the secrets buried? The public doesn't want polished answers anymore. They want authenticity, and when they don't get it, they create their own version of the truth. Insiders say Ellen's been keeping a low profile in England, focusing on her marriage and projects far from the spotlight. But even from across the ocean, the noise hasn't stopped. her name still trends whenever another celebrity scandal breaks. It's like the internet has made her part of a larger narrative about power, influence, and silence. And now, here we are, years after the camera stopped rolling, yet Ellen DeGeneres' name still echoes through every major Hollywood headline. What started as a story about Diddy's parties turned into something way deeper, a conversation about image, silence, and what really happens behind that polished celebrity curtain. Ellen's journey from daytime sweetheart to controversy magnet is more than just a fall from grace. It's a warning about how fast the spotlight can turn into a searchlight. Even with her quiet life in the UK, the internet doesn't forget. Every old clip, every resurfaced joke, every silence gets replayed and analyzed like a scene in an unsolved mystery. Whether you think she's misunderstood or hiding something, one thing's clear: Ellen's legacy will always spark debate. The be kind image that once built her empire now stands as a reminder that kindness without transparency feels hollow. At the end of the day, nobody knows what's true behind those Hollywood smiles, but the audience has learned to look closer, to question more, and to see beyond the stage lights. Maybe Ellen will speak out again, or maybe her silence is her final act, but whatever happens next, this chapter of her story has already changed how people see fame itself. So what do you think? Is Ellen unfairly targeted, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to keep the conversation going, because trust me, this story's far from over.